Oh boy, Week 10 brought the fireworks from the very beginning here on Sunday. Welcome to Game Day Recap. I'm Haley Sutton. Taking a look at our Sunday scores here in Week 10. It's hard to believe we've crossed over the halfway point. The Colts certainly set the tone in overtime overseas in Germany today. They get the win over the Falcons. The big stunner of the day, South Florida was popping as the Dolphins take down the Bills. My goodness, Pete Prisco's got a lot to say about that matchup. Of course, there were a couple of games that went down to the wire. How about the Patriots? So many storylines we're following. And when it comes to the storylines, how about this guy? Drake Maye has certainly been electric. A lot of people were concerned if he was going to be able to take that second-year leap, but certainly, like I mentioned, fireworks now in the conversation for MVP, leading that conversation. Let's talk about it here. Week 10 on Game Day Recap. You know the normal cast and crew. We got our guy Pete Prisco in the house. Heavy emphasis on the Pete Prisco.
Got it right tonight.
This week. I did. I went back and watched it. I was like, what did I say?
I gotta say, I was in Stanford. I was watching, and my first thought was, who the hell is Pete Prisco? Who is that guy?
It was close.
It was close. It was close. My personal nickname for you. We got Damien Harris, of course, back in business. He was hanging out in New York and Connecticut. Thanks so much for being back with us down here.
I thank y'all for allowing me to come back. That's all I'm happy about.
Okay, so we get a lot of flack because we're very offensive heavy on our set. We've got our two running backs. Normally, Rand Carthon is sitting with us. We've got our offensive lineman and Pete Prisco. So we thought we'd balance it up a little bit here. We have got a linebacker, a very special treat. Well, I call you a linebacker, but I asked you before what position you played, and you said basically everything.
Yeah.
We've got Jason Cabinda in the house with us, hanging out on Game Day Recap. Jason, welcome in.
Appreciate y'all having me on. I'm excited.
Yeah, absolutely. You're going to fit right in. I can already tell.
Core 4. He's a core 4.
Yeah.
Were you?
Hey, no. Hey, I'll say it. He was different.
Yeah.
He might have been tougher than me because let me tell y'all something. Y'all listening at home. To sign up to play linebacker, and they say, you know what, coach, let me go play some fullback. Matter of fact, line me up in a wide wing so I can play a little bit of tight end. By the way, I'll play a little bit of running back too. Hey, if you need a tackle, I can do that too. Like, this is a different type of guy right here. I was not in that conversation whatsoever.
6-year NFL veteran, bringing a lot of that defensive mind, but also just a lot of good vibes here. Jason, we are excited to have you. Let's start our conversation up in Foxborough because, boy, oh boy, those Patriots. I said it last week. You weren't here, but in the offseason, I was very loud about this Patriots team being a playoff team. They are not only squarely in that conversation, you guys, but they're top of the AFC East at this point. Jason, I'll give you first word here because there's a lot of different directions we could take it. We could talk about the quarterback. We could talk about the division race. What stands out to you about what the Patriots are doing right now?
Yeah, I think right now they're just playing with a lot of belief in their coach. I mean, when you look at Drake Maye, the way he's leading this team, I think the biggest jump from last year to this year is he's hitting on those big shots. He's making the offense very explosive compared to how it was last year. I think the deep shot accuracy is there. I think even defensively, what they're able to do to Tampa Bay today, they made Baker deal with the blitz all day long. He was never really had his feet comfortable and set. Obviously, they're missing some receivers and things of that nature on the offensive side of the ball, but they really had him panicked. That's what I thought was the biggest thing, the biggest improvement in this team today.
For me, I'm going to go down the whole list. I know you just said we can take this conversation a lot of different ways, so I'm going to do just that, starting with the Patriots, right? We've talked about this team, and a lot of people have questioned their schedule. When there are two litmus tests, they take down the Buccaneers, one of the best teams in the NFC. They beat the Buffalo Bills in prime time in Orchard Park. Drake Maye beat Josh Allen at his own game. Again, Stephon Diggs played like a madman in that game. So I don't want to hear about this schedule anymore because they are beating the good teams too. So the rest of the schedule does not matter. In those two litmus test games, Drake Maye is 38 for 61, almost 600 yards, 2 touchdowns, only 1 interception. By the way, that game I mentioned in Buffalo, he led a 2-minute drive to go and win the football game. Then you want to talk about the rookies, Travion Henderson, Kyle Williams, 2 guys that a lot of people were concerned about. We haven't seen them pop on the scene yet. We haven't seen that explosiveness come to the offense from those 2 young guys. Well, guess what? First pair of rookies since 2001 to have a pair of touchdowns over 50 yards. You think people are excited about that? And then just to wrap it up, the defense. I mean, yeah, they gave up a 50-yard rusher today, but it was only by 3 yards. 53 yards. That is the most rushing yards they have given up all season long, from top to bottom, offensively, defensively, special teams, and starting with the head coach. This football team is ready to make a deep playoff run.
You're going to be allowed back in the building now.
Key card's going to work.
He's going to have all kinds of pom-poms going for his whole team, don't you? That was good. Well done. Well done.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
The money spent on the defensive side of the ball has been well spent. I mean, they had 6 sacks today. You talked about the blitz. They got after the quarterback. But more than that, you look at their secondary. And when you had Carlton Davis, Marcus Jones can now play inside on a permanent basis, and you have Christian Gonzalez, you can lock up any team in the league man-to-man. And that allows you to pressure the quarterback and get after him with all those blitzes you saw today. So I think that's the best addition. Milton Williams getting after the quarterback, big inside. Spillane's been big on the defense. They spent money on defense. Mike Vrabel knows what he wants on defense, and they seem to have fixed that.
Let me ask you about Mike Vrabel, because we've talked a lot about coaches in the NFL and their job security, but for Vrabel, this really stood out to me. He is now tied for the best start by a head coach taking over a team that had 13 losses the year before. Are we giving Vrabel enough credit for the job that he has done with this Patriots team in year one, Pete?
No, well, he's had success elsewhere. By the way, it's coach and quarterback. When you have those two in sync, you're going to win. Period. You can fix everything else around them. If you have a great coach and a great quarterback, you are going to win games in this league. It's the old tried and true formula that's been going on for years and years and years. They have a great coach now, and they have a great quarterback on his way to being a really, truly special quarterback. So you're going to win a lot of games that way. Maybe Belichick was the problem in New England after all. You gonna say it? You gonna say it?
You agree? You disagree? No comment? You plead in the fifth like our guy Rand Carthen? What do you think?
I plead the fifth.
Well, I'll say it.
Well, no, hold on.
Wait,
Before I'm gonna give you the floor back. I have made comments previously that indicate what my answer would be. I don't need to say it anymore. Now, proceed.
Okay, Bill Belichick, the head coach, was undone by Bill Belichick, the general manager. Bill Belichick, if he's just the head coach, he'd still be there. The problem was he also was the general manager, and if you look at his drafts over the years, that roster became bad, and he's the reason why, and that's why he ultimately got fired as a coach.
Hell, I was a part of some of them draft classes that people be getting on Bill Belichick about. I was one of the guys.
Personal accountability.
Hey, listen. Hey,
F.
Right.
Jason, I kind of want to talk a little bit about the quarterback in Drake Maye and what he has been able to do. This Patriots team, I mentioned it, they have not been very good over the course of the last few years. They're now riding a 7-game win streak, which is the longest in the NFL. And you got to point a lot to what Drake Maye has been able to do. I got his numbers in front of me. He's completing over 71% of his passes. He now has 5 consecutive games with 2 or more passing touchdowns, 19 total passing touchdowns, just 5 interceptions. I could go on and on here. What are you seeing out of Drake Maye every week that, I guess, has this conversation evolving each and every week?
Yeah, well, I think right now, when I watch his game, it's really the decisiveness that I see out of him. He knows exactly when to get out of something, when to use his legs, when to extend plays, when to throw it away. Like, he's making all of the right decisions. I think when you play quarterback, it's not all about just, like, making the great throw. It's also managing the game. It's also knowing when to cut your losses. It's also knowing when to just take what the defense is giving you. And those little decisions compounding over through the entire game, I think you're seeing the result of offense coming alive. Obviously, they found out today they had a hell of a talent, and the rookie quarterback and Trayvon Henderson that they got in the second round. We saw him go off for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns today. That's going to help no matter what. When you got the run game going, when you got a guy as explosive, as fast as he is, that got that big play ability, that makes the shots that much more believable. And we're seeing Drake Maye be more consistent and accurate on those deep shots.
You know the thing about Drake Maye is? You know what he is? He's like Phillip Rivers. Oh, shucks. He's an all shucks guy off, and then he's a killer when he gets on the field. Phillip Rivers was a certified killer when he got on the field, but he might have been the nicest guy. I once told him that. I said, I talk to guys around the league all the time. You know what they say about you, Phillip? They say you're the nicest guy in the world off the field and the biggest idiot on the field. And he looked at it and he goes, I'll take that. And that's what Drake Maye is. In fact, during the draft process, Drake Maye worked out with Phillip Rivers, and a lot of the guys in the evaluation said, he's trying to sound like Phillip Rivers. And the reality is, that's who he is. He's a killer on the field and a nice guy off.
Yeah.
I know it's a small sample size. Which quarterback would you rather have, Phillip Rivers or Drake Maye? Again, I know
right now it's Phillip Rivers. I mean, he's got a ways to go to get to Phillip Rivers.
He's got a long way to go. I want to echo and piggyback off of both of these guys because I agree with both of your points. I think another thing that we don't talk about enough with Drake Maye is he has such a short memory. Good play, bad play. He always is just worried about the next play. He's turned the ball over. I mean, he had a turnover. He threw the ball away today to the other team. He flushed it immediately, went out, threw a touchdown. He rights his wrongs. And again, whenever he does have a play that's successful, short memory, he's moving on to the next play because he always always knows it's just about what's next. It's not about this play, the play that just happened. It's about what's next. Let's keep it rolling. Let's keep it moving and going forward.
They are exciting. Real quick, want to pivot to the other side of this one, the Bucs. We kind of expected them to come out of that bye week, still kind of banged up in terms of their roster there. Pete, what did you think about the Bucs today?
Yeah, they didn't play as well as they normally do, and I think that, look, this was a big game for them, too. They're getting some guys back. They're still not healthy, and once they get guys back all the way healthy, that offense is going to be dynamic. But now, having said that, they got a turnaround this week. You know where they go this week? To play the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo. That's going to be a tough game for them. So I still like where they are. Look at the division. Come on. Carolina lost today. Atlanta lost today. And New Orleans isn't very good. They're still going to win the division. But I think they were looking at the 1 seed, and now the 1 seed's kind of starting to fade away a little bit.
Any concerns with the Bucs?
Yeah, I mean, as much as I, love Baker Mayfield and the toughness and the grit that he brings to the offense, I really think that Bucky Irving, that edge that they have in the running game when Bucky's on that field, they just come different offensively. I love Rashad White as well, but I think that element was missing. Obviously, the receiver room was banged up. You got guys like Tez Johnson. I mean, Emeka Egbuka is a superstar.
Yeah.
Like, this guy is the real deal, big, fast, strong hands at the catch point. He's got the yak potential, all those kinds of things. So I think they're going to continue building, and they'll go as far as Baker goes. It's just they got to get healthy right now. Obviously, the loss of guys like Chris Godwin, it's tough. Mike Evans, these guys are guys who've been staples in this offense for years. So hopefully they can find a way to find that production elsewhere.
Patriots and Bucs combined for 6 touchdowns by rookies today in that game. So shout out to the rookies standing tall there. All right, got to hit a break here on Game Day Recap. When we come back, we are headed to the wild, wild NFC West, where things at the top of that division continue to heat up. We will break it down next on Game Day Recap.